Hi everyone, it's Linda from Sticky with Glitter here. I've got another mini album to share with you today, but this is also candy that I'm giving away on my blog and YouTube channel. It was my Blogversary recently. I've had my blog for 2 years, and that was on the 29th of June. So as you can see, I'm a bit late sharing my candy with you, but I wanted to gather some nice stuff together. And I decided that instead of giving one large haul away, I would give several people the chance to win stuff. So I'll be sharing them with you over the course of the next few days, because it's a bit too much to do all in one day, especially when you work full time. So I've got this mini album to give away, and I have another different mini album to give away, and I have some stamps and paper to give away also. So, on with the mini album. This is very much similar in style to the vintage wedding mini album I shared with you earlier. I used the same tutorial. The only difference is that I only changed some of the pages. So in that mini album, I changed the tutorial so that all the pockets were sideways. With this mini album, I kept to some of the original top-loading pockets, but made a couple of the pockets load sideways like that album. It's basically about the same size. The style obviously is different. This isn't at all vintage really. And the papers that I used for this are My Mind's Eye. I think it's called The Sky's the Limit, but I would have to look it up. I know I used 6x6 and 12x12 papers for this. That is because I had the 6x6 pad, and I'd already used some of it to make a couple of cards. So I think I bought a collection pack with the 12x12 papers in it, and to be honest, I don't think I used any of the stickers, but I did buy some of the chipboard pieces, and I used quite a few of those. So as I say, it's a mixture of both the 12x12 papers, and I've used the 12x12 papers on the front of the cover here, but these two little cutter parts here are from the 6x6 paper. So it's a chipboard mini album, and I've wrapped the cover in plain black cardstock, and then cut the 12x12 papers to fit on the front. And for this one I used the same papers all round. I don't always do that, but it was quite a busy paper, and so I used the same for the front and the spine and the back. I used the chipboard piece here, which says "Oh Happy Day." I raised that up on some self-adhesive foam. Another couple of chipboard pieces here and here, and then some flowers and these lovely little pearl stamens that I bought from the Ribbon Girl. So on the spine I put an eyelet in here. This is one of the large ones from We Are Memory Keepers, and I threaded through some vintage style seam binding, which I scrunched up. And so it was all, I don't know what you call it, but it looks pretty like this rather than just straight. And to do that, if you want to do that at home, you basically just make it wet. Make it wet, scrunch it up, and either leave it to dry naturally, or you can dry it with a hairdryer or a heat gun. Just be careful if you do use a heat gun that you don't burn your fingers. And then I added one of these chains from Tim Holtz. And I've put some charms on there. So there's a little padlock there, some musical notes because I thought that suited the paper, and this little umbrella or parasol, and you'll see why I chose that when we look at the papers inside. And this is one of the chipboard pieces, and I just punched a hole in it and just dangled that from the end. I thought that looked quite nice as well. The back's just plain with the papers. Sorry, I'm going completely out of shot there. So we open it up. Now on the inside cover, I cut this out of the 12 by 12 paper and I backed it with some cardstock and cut flaps, which I folded back to make a large pocket. And this is a large pocket. When I say large pocket, I'm not just talking about the size here. It holds a lot of photo mats and journaling spots, and so I actually did make quite a lot to put in here. So these are cut apart from a 12 by 12 sheet. Mostly I have backed all the photo mats and these cut aparts, but there are a few that I didn't. So that one is the plain one. As you can see, that's covered on the back. And then all these I thought were nice. You could use them as a photo mat, or they would be perfect for journaling as well. And I did a few different styles in here. I did some normal rounded corners, and then I also used my my Art Deco corner punch for some of them as well, and for some of them I used the ticket stub punch. So you've got a variety of different styles there, and they all fit quite comfortably in this pocket in the front cover. And they stay in there fairly snugly. So on the first page I used a chipboard sticker. This edge here is from a Martha Stewart punch. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it is like a lacy doily type one. It's actually part of a punch around the page set. I just didn't use the corner punch for this, obviously. So there's two cut aparts there, and as you can see with the umbrellas, and this is a recurring theme in this paper, that's why I put the little umbrella come parasol charm on there. It says stick it to ride, and that's backed, and that is also backed. And I'm just going to keep hold of this photo mat because I'm going to use it to show you something else. You turn over the page. So this is a top loading pocket, and instead of just doing a single photo mat, I actually made like a little booklet. So it's just plain inside for photos, and then there's paper on both of the outside ones, and you can keep that plain or put more photos on the outside as well. So you could fit 4 photographs on there if you wanted to. And then this is a chipboard sticker, and I just glued it down the side and the bottom here, so it does act as a photo holder if you wanted to put a photograph or another photo mat in there. And then on this page there's another couple of chipboard pieces here. Again, another photo mat and 2 of the cut aparts, and I've backed one with design paper and left the other one plain. So you could use that for journaling if you wanted to. And this page opens at the side. So that's a wider photo mat in the side pockets there. On this page I used another of the chipboard pieces, and I'm sorry the light has just gone on me here. Chipboard pieces, and you could put journaling on there. It says date here, and it's lined here, so you could put use it as a little journaling spot. And again, I just adhered it at the side and bottom, so you can, if you want to, just pop a picture or a photo mat behind that. So I'm just going to lift this up slightly because it seems to have refocused on me. Okay. And this strip here I cut from the 6x6 pad. I thought that looked quite nice on the border there. And then more photo mats and journaling spots there. Again, as you can see, the parasol there. We flip open and we have another pocket at the top here. Lots of room for journaling here if you want to. And it opens up, spaces for 2 photographs and for another photograph there if you want to use that, or you could keep the paper if you preferred. This is another of the chipboard pieces. This actually was a large kind of 12-inch wide piece designed for a scrapbook layout, and I just cut it down so it would fit on my page here. And again, I've adhered it at the sides, and it's gonna not to cooperate with me here. There we go. And so you can fit, so I'm going to do it from the top because it's easier. You can fit a photograph under that as well. And on this page, there's another chipboard sticker here, which says "Follow Your Dreams." Again, another photo mat and 2 cutter parts. This is another side pocket with a large photo mat in, and you can use this as a photo mat, or you could put some journaling on there if you wanted to. For this page, this is one of the chipboard pieces, and I just made a little fold out with this. This has got a magnet closure. It opens up and you have space for a photograph here, and then this just flap comes down, and I put 3 little tickets with little journaling spots on, and they just sit in there. And then again, another of the chipboard pieces. It says "Dream," and you could use this pocket as a journaling spot if you wanted to. It has lined paper there, and then more photo mats and more of the cutter parts. This says "The Day They Went to the Circus." I love those elephants. So again, when we turn the page, that's another pocket and another little booklet for photographs. And this is the other piece of the long chipboard banner. You can, if you wanted to, pop a photo or photo mat behind that, so hold it. Or you could keep it plain and use this page for glue there, for journaling, as you've got lined paper on this. And then finally on the last page, and on this page I made a slight error in as much that I had this stick on with magnets, and I didn't think about what I was going to do till after I stuck the paper down. So the magnets are actually on show where they should be underneath this paper, but you know, when the book is in place you don't see them, so it doesn't really matter. And this basically is like a little mini photo album in a mini album. You have a chipboard piece on the front here, and it just opens up and it has 4 pages in. So if you wanted to, you wouldn't put anything on the back because that goes on the magnets. But if you wanted to, you could put your 4 favourite photos in there and take them with you if you wanted to show somebody and didn't want to take the whole album. So that is my chipboard mini album, and that is the first one that I made in that style before I made the vintage wedding one. So if you want to win this, all you have to do is be a follower. You can be a follower of my blog, The link to my blog is below for those of you who didn't come via my blog. I put a link to it below if you want to check that out. Or you can be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Or you can be a follower of my Facebook page. I'm not including Instagram in this simply because I really rarely use Instagram. Not because I don't like it, but because the things that I normally want to share on Instagram are the things that I've made, such as cards that have copyright images. And it's just such a pain with Instagram that I can't share the photos that I've already watermarked and put up on my blog. I have to do it all separately, so I don't very often show stuff on Instagram. So this is just open to followers of my Facebook page, and I'll put the link to that below. Followers of my blog, link to that is below, and followers of my YouTube channel. So if you want to win this, just leave me a comment below. And you can have more than one chance of winning. If you follow my YouTube channel, leave a comment here below. If you also follow my blog, you can leave a comment on my blog also. And if you follow my Facebook page, you could leave a comment on my Facebook page as well, and that would give you 3 chances to win. Okay, so that's all from me. As I say, if you want to win it, you just need to be a follower and leave me a comment. If you would like to share it as well, that would be great, but it isn't needed in order to win. Thanks a lot for looking. Bye.